everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Maggie. Today we're going to be talking about all the pans I have in my makeup collection. I love hitting pan. I've been part of the Project Pan community for a number of years, and even though I have a smaller collection these days, I still really love seeing pan and using products up. So today we're going to talk through all the pans in my collection. It's kind of like a tour de pan, and I'm excited. So I looked through, I basically have 3 categories in which I have pan on. So I have eyeshadow pans, I have highlighter pans, which kind of surprised me, and powder pans. So let's go ahead and dive in. I think I'll go start with the eyeshadow and then we'll go into the other sections. So starting off with eyeshadow, I first have this Natasha Denona mini retro palette, and I have 2 pans in here. They are both of the end shades, so both of the sparkly kind of lid shades. I really enjoy both of these, and I'm happy to have at least 2 out of the 5 in here with a good sized pan even, I would say. So those are the first 2. Next, I have the Soft Glam 2 palette, which if you are unaware, this has been my pan matte palette all year. So I will show you what it's like today, but I will link my pan matte palette series if you want to see the progress I've made. So currently I have 5 pans in here. So everything in here is either got pan or finished up except for this burgundy shade. I'm still working on hitting pan there. But really happy with the shininess that this palette is showing these days. Okay, next I've got another ABH palette. This is the Norvina palette, and I've got 3 pans in this palette. All of them are shimmer, so I've got this one, and this one. Very pretty. And then I also have some ColourPop singles. So these are actually all ColourPop shades that were from other palettes that I have depotted. I depotted them and decluttered last year's Vlogmas. I can link that video if you're interested. But this is the current selection I have, and within here I actually have a number of pans. So if we kind of split this in half, I've got the warm half here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pans. Is that right? Yep, 5 pans over here. And then on the other side of the palette, kind of the cooler side, at least how I've arranged it, I've got 1, 2, 3 pans on this side. And I'm currently debating, so let me know what you think in the comment section, which palette should be my pan matte palette for next year. I'm kind of between these 2, the Norvina and the singles from ColourPop. So let me know what you think I should pan for next year, and maybe I'll consider your opinions when I make my decision. So let me know what you think in the comment section. I definitely want to have a pan matte palette to work on hitting more pan and finishing up shades next year. So let me know what your opinion is in the comment section. The last eyeshadow pan to show you, which is going to be an eyeshadow empty here soon, is a single from Wet n Wild. This is the Brulee shade, and I have just the perimeter showing these days. Hopefully you can see that okay. Yeah, this is a go-to shadow for me. This is the second one I've worked through this year. I love having a shade like this to set down my primer and kind of clean off, you know, any veining or darkness from my lid. So this is very much a utility type shade in my collection. So not a surprise to have pan there. All right, let's talk about the powder quick and then we can go to highlights. The powder that I currently have pan on is the Fenty Beauty Matte. This is the Invisimatte blotting and setting powder. This is the pan. I've got a big pan in there. This is very close to also being finished up. This is my project pan right now. If you're not familiar, I also do project pan videos. I can link that playlist. But this is something I'm working on trying to finish up before the end of the year, which I think I should be able to do. I love this powder though. It works really well for kind of touch-ups. And I also love that the pan itself you can remove and then just buy a replacement pan. So you can keep the compact and just get a new pan. So I actually already have another pan ready to go into this compact when this powder is done. All right, the last category that I have pans in my collection are highlighters, which really surprised me. Two of them are the ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadows, highlighters, goodness. I know that these are notoriously easy to hit pan on because of the consistency of the product. You can kind of push it around the pan. Mine took a little bit longer to hit pan on because I didn't use my finger, I used a brush with it. So this one is the shade Lunch Money, and I've got a nice pan there in the center. And then the other one that I have is called Monster from ColourPop, and I also have pan in the center. This one has a little bit more of like a kind of pinky purpley shift on it, so it's really pretty when you do like cool tone looks. And then the Lunch Money has a little bit more of a golden kind of flip to it. So those two are the Super Shock. I also have two powder highlighters that I've hit pan on. This one is from I Heart Revolution. It was part of the Aristocats line from a few years ago. The packaging is about to break, so I'm going to be gentle, but I have pan here at the corner. I use this as a body highlight, so I use a fluffy kabuki brush with this powder, and I will put it like on the tops of my shoulders, on my chest, fronts of my legs, if I'm wearing, shorts or a skirt or something. And it's really pretty. I'm really happy to use it that way. It's just a little bit too deep for me to use on my face. So using it on my body, kind of sheared out that way, works really well. Do I feel like I need to have a body highlighter specifically? Probably not in the future, but that's how we'll continue to use this one for now. And the last one is from a Hourglass Quad. This was from 2020, I believe, the winter holiday season. And I have actually finished up two of these powders this year. I finished up the bronzer and the setting powder, and I now have a good amount of pan on the highlighter. So I think this is something I will plan to pan next year, is what I'm thinking anyway, because I've already started to get a good amount of pan showing, and I'm really excited to see more come up through there. I don't see any pan in the blush, but that doesn't really surprise me. It's pretty hard for me to hit pan on a blush because I'm very fair, so I don't need a lot of blush for it to show up. Whereas with the highlighter, if it's the right shade, I feel like I can put a little bit more on if I want. So that is it for all of the pans in my collection. Like I said, I have 24, so that's 4 highlighters, 1 powder, and 19 eyeshadows with pan currently in my collection. I do also track my pan percentage for my eyeshadows specifically, and that's been a fun metric to kind of keep track of of all the eyeshadows, here's the percentage that actually have pan in it, because it makes me feel good that I'm using what I have. So as I'm filming this, I have 16.66% of my total eyeshadows have pan on it, which I think is pretty good if you ask me. So that is all I have for you today. Kind of a short and sweet video, but I hope you enjoyed it. I find eyeshadow pans particularly satisfying, but all pan in general is still good to me. So let me know in the comment section, like I said, about what you think I should pan for an eyeshadow palette next year. I'm curious what you think. And otherwise, I will see you in my next video.